speculation as to John Robinson's future here has been talked about in the Los Angeles area. Deep for the Redskins is Brian Mitchell, and Ricky Irvins along with him. There is Irvins, who played his college ball at Southern California. And we're underway. Zendejas' kick is short because of the wind, end over end, and it's picked up by Mitchell. Mitchell with great speed is up to the 40-yard line. And a fumble following the kick, and it's been blown dead. It is going to be Redskins ball following a 34-yard return by Mitchell. David Lang made the tackle on an outstanding return man for the Redskins. So Mark Rippon, despite the loss last week, in the last 3 games has thrown 9 touchdown passes and only 1 interception. And up front, Lachey, McKenzie, Bostic, Schlereth, and Jacoby. Merlin talked about them with Warren, the tight end, Biner with the posse, Monk, Sanders, and Clark. First down out of the I formation, double tight end, and Rippon is going to the air, and wide open downfield is Art Monk. And he beats the defense and gets the first down and a gain of 22 yards. And that's a surprise first play. Making the tackle, Michael Stewart and Pat Terrell, the safety. The Rams defensively, and this is a banged-up group. Tom Gibson, David Rocker, and Mike Charles, all free agents picked up in November. Team along with the rookie Robert Young. Green, Helm, and Strickland started linebacker. Todd Light, the rookie, along with Darrell Henley, the cornerbacks, and Terrell, along with Stewart, the safety. And a first down on the Ram 34. And the give is to Biner, and Biner goes nowhere on first down. Making the tackle was Alvin Wright, who was banged up with a bad shoulder of his own, and a gain of only 2.
And that's the kind of run that we can expect to see the Redskins counting on and featuring here early. Biner said he's healthy now. Had a knee problem a couple of weeks ago, and he feels that what they need to do is stay with the run. Give them a chance to get back in gear and get moving. They can't give up on it early.
That's their stock and trade, the running game. Second down and 8. You saw Rippon say go to the other side to Don Warren. And they give it to Biner, and he gets tripped up by Kevin Green as he crossed the line of scrimmage, and a gain of only 2. We want to welcome you to Anaheim Stadium, where we're just underway as the Redskins and the Rams battle. Miami, after trailing early, routed Tampa Bay 33-14. This is Dick Stockton along with Merlin Olsen. Joe Gibbs and the Redskins are looking to clinch the NFC East title, and they can with a win today. A 22-yard pass to Art Monk has set the Redskins up. They have a 3rd down and 6 coming up on the 30-yard line of the Rams. Rippon has some time, and his pass is off the fingertips of Ricky Sanders. And that will bring up 4th down. Covering was Darrell Henley.
One of the problems last week against the Cowboys was they were unable to maintain their precision on 3rd down plays. And Ricky Sanders dropped a number of 3rd down passes last week. He's dropped one here again today. That's one thing the Skins have done well all year, is sustain their drives by being able to pick up those big 3rd downs.
Chip Lohmiller, who did not attempt a field goal against the Cowboys, will try this from 47 yards out. Jeff Rutledge will be the holder. And the kick is no good. It's way off to the left, and the wind played a role in that miss by Lohmiller.
Lohmiller told me before the game, he said, you have to kick to the right of the goalpost. He said it was the first time he'd ever seen the wind so strong in an NFL stadium that you actually had to kick to the right of the goalpost. Well, he didn't get it far enough right, and look at this ball take off with the wind.
Not even close for Lohmiller, who's been on a tear, having hit on 32 now of his last 40 field goal attempts. So the Rams go to work offensively. It's still scoreless. Jim Everett leads the LA Rams out of the huddle, and a first down on the 30. Robert Del Pino is opening up at running back. That's a surprise. And the first pass of the game is caught by Flipper Anderson for a short gain. Making the tackle was Martin Mayhew. Up front. front. Vern Brostek has moved into the left guard position. Tom Newberry from guard to center. Jenkins, Love, Slater, the other offensive linemen, and this has been a patched-up group. Damone Johnson, the tight end. Dupree and McGee slated to be the running backs, but we saw Del Pino on first down. Ellard and Anderson are the wide receivers. Now McGee joins Del Pino in the backfield on 2nd down and 6 from the Ram 34. And Del Pino with a penalty marker down picks up 1 yard, and Tim Johnson, the Redskins, tackle quickly in to stop him.
Tim Johnson made the tackle.
Johnson, also the man who was offsides, had some problems earlier in the year jumping off. And on that particular play, got in there early to make the tackle, but unfortunately, it's going to cost him 5 yards.
Here's Dick Hantak.
Offside. Defense, number 78. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. 2nd down.
It'll be 2nd down coming up. So along with Tim Johnson up front for the Redskins, Charles Mann, who did not practice until Friday, Eric Williams and Fred Stokes, a former Ram, Wilbur Marshall, Matt Millen, and Andre Collins open up at linebacker. And in the secondary, Martin Mayhew and Darrell Green, who was burned last week. Brad Edwards and Danny Copeland are the safeties. On 2nd down and 1, McGee carries, and he gets enough. He gets 4 yards. And Andre Collins making the tackle, and that will be good enough for a 1st down.
This is the new look of the Rams on the offensive line. They've moved Newberry into center. They brought Brostek in. Brostek, a 300-pounder, has moved in at that left guard position. And Deval Love, almost 300 pounds on the other side. They wanted the bigger, stronger offensive line. But all those new bodies are going to have problems communicating here today.
1st down on the 43-yard line. And Everett with his first pass, and Del Pino out of the backfield makes the catch, and ridden out of bounds by Andre Collins, and a gain of 9 yards. Del Pino, an unhappy player when we talked with him yesterday, Merlin, because he was going to be scratched from the lineup, despite the fact that he's their most productive running back.
And I think perhaps someone in the Rams staff got wind of that and said, this is not right. Del Pino has earned the right to start, and in spite of the fact that we need to take a look at Marcus Dupree, you can't do that to your most productive players. You send the wrong message to them.
2nd down and 1 into Redskin territory at the 48-yard line, and a mix-up. And we'll have a penalty. Everett carried the ball. There is Dupree, who will have to wait his turn. And it will be a penalty. So it will be a 1st down. There was no penalty, although it was kind of the most mixed-up quarterback sneak you'll ever see, and a gain of 2 yards for Everett.
The Redskins, looking at this new offensive line, have placed Eric Williams, the tackle, right on Newberry's nose. Not the usual scheme for them, but I think they want to put some heat on Newberry. Now they're in the even set.
1st down on the 46-yard line. They swing it out once again to Del Pino. Del Pino playing like a man possessed to prove something, picks up 9 yards on that play. Charles Mann downfield making the tackle. And now for an update, here's Greg Gumbel in New York. Greg?
All right, Dick, in Atlanta, final minutes of the game at Fulton County Stadium. Chris Miller's pass into the end zone to George Thomas is incomplete. They were moved out of field goal range, but with a 3-point lead for Green Bay, Atlanta has the ball back under a minute of play. Dick?
And a critical game for the Falcons' wild card playoff hopes, Greg. 2nd down and 1 Rams. They're on the Redskins 37. And Del Pino does not appear to have enough for the 1st down. Eric Williams
made the tackle.
in there quickly to make the stop.
Williams, who had a neck problem earlier in the year, you see him cranking that neck as he stuck his helmet right into the middle of that pile, came out with a bit of a stinger. The Rams told us earlier that they too were going to concentrate on the running game. They said they've got to play a more physical game. Look inside, Deval Love, Jackie Slater, Newberry, but it's Matt Millen, the old warhorse, that's in there first to put his head right on him.
3rd down and 1, and Marcus Dupree gets into the game there as Matt Millen, a very vocal middle linebacker. So Dupree is in there with 2 tight ends for the Rams. On 3rd and 1, and a play fake on 3rd and 1. Everett can't find a receiver. He'll run for the 1st down. And a good heads-up play by Jim Everett as he gained 6 yards. Millen and Charles Mann make the tackle as the Rams now drive to the Redskins 31.
First down, Rams.
Everett able to take the time on that last play to watch downfield. Could not find the open receiver, but there was excellent pass blocking up front. And Everett with time and room to sneak out of there and get the first down. Charles Mann moving pretty well. Mann, you remember, with the knee injury, struggled last week against the Cowboys. We'll keep a close eye on him here today.
Aaron Cox has replaced Flipper Anderson. At wide receiver, there are 3 wide outs for the Rams. First down on the 31-yard line. Everett fires and incomplete. And he got rid of it in a hurry. He could taste the rush from Charles Mann coming in, and an incomplete pass brings up second down.
2 players lost by the Rams last week to fractured ankles. Jim Price and a linebacker on the other side who was going to be a real help to them, and that was Roman Pfeiffer. Both fractured their ankles in that game. But on a play like that, it's Everett who would like to be looking for Price. And, of course, Price is not out there. Missed throws to the tight end.
Rams have been struggling offensively, particularly in the running game, but they have controlled the ball for over 5 minutes. Second down and 10, and here's Del Pino is looking ahead, and Del Pino gets good yardage and good room inside of the 23-yard line, a gain of 8 yards. It took the safeties Copeland and Edwards to bring him down.
Let's go in and look at Newberry here, and well, let's go back to the other side. There's Brostick right there. 2 of the guys we're looking at. Brostick, you remember, a 300-pounder sweeping out to the outside. A little bit of concern. Didn't know who to block. Finally found somebody, put a head on there. Buford McGee leading beautifully up front.
Third down and 2. Doug Smith has replaced Newberry. He is the shotgun snapper. Lost his job this week. But he's in there in the shotgun on 3rd and 2. Everett's pass, and Eller tries to make a diving catch and cannot. Edwards was the closest defender, and that will bring up 4th down. And once again, a good pass rush, this time from the inside and Tim Johnson.
And that's the kind of rush that you want to get on Everett.
Tony Zendejas, one of the bright spots, perfect. 12 for 12. The problem is he hasn't had that many tries. This will be a 41-yard attempt with the backup quarterback Mike Pagel, the holder. A 41-yard attempt. Let's see how Zendejas handles the win. And Zendejas' kick is good. And Joe Gibbs Redskins find themselves on the short end to start this game with 6:08 remaining, as Tony Zendejas remains perfect on the year, clicking on a 41-yard field goal.
Had Joe Gibbs been able to write his script for the day, it would have been a long Redskin drive and then 3 and out defensively. The Rams, by scoring early here, have gotten themselves a little bit of confidence in this ball game. And that's not what the Redskins wanted to see them do.
Well, the running game, and you mentioned at the top, is something that he wanted to see get going again. And look what's happened in the last 3 games after that fine start.
Well, one of the reasons for that, the injury to Biner's knee. But the other thing that they have not been able to do is to be patient with the running game. Of course, in last week's ball game against the Cowboys, they didn't get their hands on the football that much. But they would like to reverse those numbers and get back to the pounding style of football that is Redskin football.
Charles Mann, who played hurt last week with that bad knee. It's bothered him all year, really. Zendejas will kick it off. Mitchell and Irvins are back deep for the Redskins. And it'll be Brian Mitchell at the 3-yard line. And he had a fine return last time. This time he brings it out 25 yards with Frank Stams making the tackle. Checking on the final seconds in Atlanta. The Falcons now lead the Packers 35-31 with 41 seconds remaining. Buffalo leading the Jets. That was close and tied at halftime. Miami, of course, over Tampa Bay. An easy game for the Cleveland Browns, and a lot of action underway along with our game. First down on the 27 for the Redskins, who trail the Rams 3-0. Well, how do you do? Alvin Wright, I guess, wanted to join the Redskins backfield, and let's see if he was drawn off by Mark Schlereth.
I don't think he was. This is a very well-schooled offensive line.
Defense, number 99, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
After watching the tape all week, I'm surprised to see Alvin Wright move. Jeff Fisher, by the way, when he was at Philadelphia, played against the Skins twice every year, knows them intimately, and is able to put his players in the right position. But he said, hey, we've got so many new faces out there, I don't know if they can make the play when I get them there.
He could use some of those Eagle defensive linemen. First down and 5 following the penalty. On the Skins 32. Ernest Biner fights his way to the 36-yard line. He'll be short of a first down by 2 yards. And it was Mike Charles, one of the late pickups by the Rams in his 9th year, making the tackle.
The Rams have to be able to play the inside runs. The counter tray, the trademark of this Washington Redskin team. You notice they're pulling the wing back instead of the tackle these days, but it's still the same play. The Rams with a lot of bodies there, but not until the game was made. Second down and 2, James Jenkins, tight end who was activated this week, part of a 3 tight end formation as Biner dives for the first down. As you know, Ron Middleton not playing today with an injured knee, and Jenkins took his place. Let's check now with Greg Gumbel for an update from New York. Greg?
All right, Dick, in Atlanta, Chris Miller of the Falcons didn't start this game because of a high temperature, but he has rallied Atlanta in the second half. The 16-yard TD pass to Andre Rison, 40 seconds to play. Falcons lead the Packers 35-31, Dick.
Wild game in Atlanta, Greg. First down on the 38 for the Redskins with 4:43 to go in the first quarter. 3-0 the Rams. And a play fake in the dash. And here is Rippon's pass, and it is caught. And Ricky Sanders, who dropped one earlier, makes a 15-yard grab. Darrell Henley was covering him, and it's a first down for the Redskins in Ram territory.
An excellent job of picking up the blitz on the backside as Rippon just gives a little fake here, and there's a blitz coming. They just nail him, give him a little room right in there. 21 Biner, who does that as well as anyone in the league. I'll tell you, there's not a finer pickup on the blitz than Ernest Biner.
Another first down for the Redskins. Another play fake for Rippon. He's going to the opposite side and wide open. And going all the way for the touchdown is Terry Orr. 47 yards.
A lot of Redskin fans here today to celebrate that first TD. Jeff Fisher told us yesterday that one of the things he was afraid of was that little dash, that little play action fake to the outside, and then the powerful throwback. Rippon with a strong enough arm to go all the way back against the grain. That was a zone coverage. Stewart just drifting and missed the coverage on the outside.
Lohmiller with the extra point, and the kick is good. 159 consecutive conversions. And what about Terry Orr? He has now caught 5 passes on the year, 2 of them for touchdowns, so he makes the big plays.
Here's the play. Rippon will just dash to his right, look to his right, and then all the way back against the grain. And look how far Orr is able to get away from Strickland, but he should have deep help from Stewart. It simply was not there.
That was the longest reception of Orr's career.
Here's the man in motion right here, just swings to the outside and heads down. The linebacker will work out with him, but you'll see that he's expecting to get help deep. And Stewart drives to the inside, leaves the deep zone open, and there's the play right there that opened up for the touchdown.
It shows you the kind of depth the Redskins have in just about every area of the ball club. Here Middleton goes down or becomes the backup to Don Warren, and he catches a 47-yard touchdown pass. 7-3 the Redskins lead, and Lohmiller will get set to kick off, and back deep for the Rams. Vernon Turner is on the left, and David Lang, number 38. It's a short kick, end over end, and it'll be Turner at the 13-yard line. And he broke a couple of tackles and crawled his way out past the 35. A good return of 24 yards by Vernon Turner, making the tackle Sidney Johnson for Washington.
Very obvious that this wind is going to be difficult for teams going from our right to our left in particular. That wind seems to hold that kick up as it goes to our right. You can see it blowing very hard. It has been blowing here for actually about 3 days. And down on the field seems to be blowing across on both sides of the field.
So now Everett's behind 7-3 with 3:38 remaining, starting from the 36-yard line. Robert Del Pino, who is well deep in the backfield, is stopped for nothing. Trying to test the middle of the line, but it's something the Rams have to do, and even if they don't get success, they've got to continue to run at that line to set up anything Everett wants to do passing.
You can't allow yourself to become one-dimensional, especially against an experienced defensive team like the Redskins, because they'll kill you, and particularly they'll kill your quarterback.
Second down and 9. On the 37-yard line, Buford McGee is in there. Cox was in motion. And Everett's pass to Ellard is complete. Darrell Green will knock him out of bounds, short of a first down by a couple of yards. Well, it's been a wild game in Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium. We're underway in the first quarter with 2:47 remaining. Dick Stockton and Merlin Olsen. The Redskins lead 7-3 after a wild Falcon finish and a victory over the Packers. Rams scored first on a field goal by Zendejas, and Terry Orr on a 47-yard catch from Mark Rippon put Washington in front. 3rd and 2, and plenty of time for Everett, but he overthrew his intended receiver, Aaron Cox. And that will bring up 4th down, and here's how the Redskins took the lead.
Redskins just rolling out to their right, and Rippon with that powerful arm able to throw back across the zone, and it was Michael Stewart, the safety, who had drifted with that rollout, who was not there to help on Terry Orr, and Orr into the touchdown for the touchdown.
Dale Hatcher will kick on 4th down for the Rams, and back deep is Brian Mitchell, who leads the National Football League in returns. Kick, not a good one, low.
Good roll.
But it's going to work to the Rams' advantage, and they're going to down it inside the 5. Sammy Lilly downs it at the 4. Well, he got the job done, although it wasn't pretty. It ended up a 52-yard kick by Hatcher. Washington ball. 7-3, but they'll start from their own 5-yard line, and they have brought in a new running back, Ricky Urbans, who in the last 3 games has been a lot more productive than Ernest Biner. Biner is one of the top rushers in the league. Is in the backfield.
This Rams defense, Dick, has had so many changes on the year. They have struggled all year long to keep the same lineup on the field and have not been able to do it. Look at the numbers of linemen in particular. 16 different linemen have worked in those starting positions, as well as a great number of linebackers. These guys are lucky to know where to line up, let alone to know any technique out there.
First down from the 5. And it's Urbans with a burst and some room, and Ricky Urbans on his first carry back in Southern California, where he played for the Trojans, gets 15 yards with Stewart and Terrell on the tackle.
Urbans and Biner a very good 1-2 punch. Biner a pounder, and Urbans is an explosive back, a game-breaking kind of back. And boy, I tell you, you get geared up for Biner and suddenly zap, here comes Irving.
First and 10 after the Redskins get out of trouble on one play. Again, here's Urbans. And Urbans gets about 2, and that's all, as the Rams close up the middle, making the tackle Larry Kelm and Michael Stewart from the secondary.
The Rams playing aggressively. There's a hole, but it gets closed. Tom Gibson, number 75. Green is there. Michael Stewart, who's very important to the running game. He's the safety, but he is almost like a linebacker in this Rams scheme.
2nd down and 8 for the Redskins. Gibson picked up in the middle of November from Cleveland. Rocker and Charles also picked up that way. 3 wide receivers, so the posse is in the lineup now for Washington and going up top. And the pass a little bit high for Ricky Sanders. Darrell Henley was covering, so Sanders has been overlooked, admittedly, by Joe Gibbs, but today it looks like Sanders is getting his number called a lot.
Really have to question the Rams on this coverage, as Ricky Sanders able to find an opening right down the middle. They leave him room right down the center, and Sanders is, of course, going to take it. Boy, I'll tell you, that ball, I think, would have been thrown properly, but I think they're worried about the wind out there today. Gunning a little extra because of the wind, but Sanders wide open for that potentially big play.
3rd down and 8 with 48 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Rippon again going to the air, and he's gone deep, and there's a receiver that was open. Clark for the moment. Terrell came over from his safety position, and I wonder whether the wind had something to do with that throw.
The wind is blowing across the field in that direction, and you saw that ball just take an arc and head out of bounds. Clark was open, and I think on a normal day that would have been a completion.
One thing Rippon can do is that he can go deep with the best of them, and on 4th down, Kelly Goodburn will punt, and Vernon Turner is deep for the Rams.
Into the wind.
Punt hangs in there, and Turner with the catch at the 45 gets into Redskin territory. And the Rams are going to love their field position following a 13-yard return by Vernon Turner. And it was Goodburn, the punter, and Govea on the tackle.
That's that.
Along with Merlin Olsen, this is Dick Stockton at Anaheim Stadium. 30 seconds to go in the first quarter. The Redskins lead the Rams, but the Rams have the ball on the Redskin 43 first down. Everett to throw on 1st down, and he's got Flipper Anderson. Covering him was Martin Mayhew, and a gain of 16 yards as the Rams, who have lost 6 straight games, longest losing streak in 25 years, are challenging the Skins here.
Freddie Stokes, a former Ram, number 60, working on Robert Jenkins, the toughest position on the offensive line, left tackle, and he did a great job of getting those hands up in Stokes' face.
Richie Pettibone, who of course played with you, as a matter of fact, here with the Rams.
Played with those funny horns around the top of his head, but he's made his reputation as a defensive coach.
On a reverse, and Vernon Turner trying to get out of trouble. And a terrific recovery as the first quarter ends. He picked up 6 yards in what could have been a 10-yard loss. Charles Mann made the tackle, and that is the end of the first quarter here at Anaheim Stadium with a score: the Redskins 7 and the Rams 3. Second quarter with the Redskins leading the Rams 7-3 here at Anaheim Stadium. Time to wake up. Too early to yawn. Their 2nd straight sellout.
Supposed to be a wake-up call last week, Dick, not this week.
Well, you know, this team arrived at what was tantamount to midnight Eastern time when their flight was delayed last night. They come out to the Pacific time zone, had meetings. They haven't been in this town very long.
A 7-hour flight against those strong headwinds before they were able to finally touch down in Los Angeles.
2nd down and 5. And the pass to the tight end, Damone Johnson. He doesn't get much on it, only 5 yards. And making the tackle for the Redskins was Wilbur Marshall.
Wilbur Marshall on the stop.
Damone Johnson, be right in here. Coming up. My machine is not working. Let's turn it loose and watch Tim Johnson here as he drives inside on Vern Brostick. He is all over Jim Everett. But Damone Johnson, the other Johnson, slid in behind for the completion.
Well, maybe your machine isn't working, but you are, and that's more important. It's a 1st down for the Rams on the 16 of the Redskins. Everett directing traffic, and his pass Very dangerous in the end zone. Turner was the intended receiver, but Brad Edwards was right there to tip it away. Very nearly intercepted by a host of Redskins in the end zone.
Jimmy Everett's seen that tape of the Cowboys last week throwing into a mass of Redskins, and they were able to pick up a touchdown. Maybe he figured he could do it here, but he does throw right into the middle of the crowd. Flipper Anderson here working on Mayhew, and the Redskins will flop those cornerbacks. It will be usually Mayhew on Anderson. You see how open he is until the ball is thrown, and then he drew a crowd.
Anderson was open. 2nd down and 10. Opening minute of the 2nd quarter. And the running play to Delpino, but the Redskins meet the charge. Kurt Govea, a nickel linebacker, and no gain on the play. That will bring up 3rd down. Govea, one of the nickel linebackers.
Middle linebacker by committee. Monty Coleman will come in, and of course it's Matt Millen on those running downs.
But now James Geathers has come in the game as the pass rusher. He's been effective lately on 3rd down, and Doug Smith, who lost his starting job, now the long snapper. Although Everett comes up to the line on 3rd down and 11. And it's a running play on 3rd down to Delpino, and the crowd didn't like that call one bit.
You really don't fool this Redskin defense. They're so well grounded and so sound, and John Robinson is just shaking his head because this is what the Ram offense has done all year. They can move the ball down the field. They get down into red territory, and they seem to self-destruct.
Well, a chance now for the Rams to come within a point, and Tony Zendejas, who was successful from the other end at 41 yards, this will be a 33-yard attempt. This is where Lohmiller missed his attempt, but this kick is good. Zendejas remains perfect on the year, and his 2nd field goal of the game has brought the Rams to within a point. It's 7-6 Redskins. By their effort so far early in the 2nd quarter, trailing the Redskins only 7-6, but they're playing hard, tackling hard, and that's a good sign for the Rams. Tony Zendejas will kick off, and back deep, Brian Mitchell and Ricky Urbans. Mitchell is on the right. It's heading over toward Urban's side, and he's got it at the 6-yard line. And he is decked and decked hard, and a penalty marker is thrown at the 19-yard line. And it was Ernie Thompson, who is the brother of Anthony Thompson, the running back from the Cardinals. Both went to Indiana, and a crunching stop by Thompson, who was just activated this week. And it'll be illegal block against the Redskins, and they'll set him back.
32 on 32. Urbans running hard, but look at that shot. A real whiplash. Boy, I'll tell you, that's a banger. And that gets everybody pumped up.
That's the kind of play the Rams have shown thus far. Well, Washington has not put the Rams away early. What a hit by Ernie Thompson. And a 1st down for the Redskins on their own 10-yard line. And the give is to Ernest Biner, who's back in the lineup, and he gets a couple, and that's all. Making the tackle was Kevin Green. And right now, let's check in with Greg Gumbel in New York on the Giant-Bengal game. Greg?
All right, Dick, at Riverfront Stadium, Phil Simms to Stephen Baker, 13 yards in the touchdown. The Giants, feeling the pressure to win with the Atlanta victory earlier, lead 14-7 at Cincinnati, Dick.
Giants also trying to stay in the wild card battle. 2nd down and 9. On the 11-yard line. Again, it's Biner trying to go outside with it. And Biner close to the 1st down, but will be shy. Picks up 8 yards. Larry Kelm, the middle linebacker, and a good block by Don Warren, who is starting today in place of Ron Middleton.
And they really miss Ron Middleton. Middleton is an extra guard at that moving tight end position. Don Warren, of course, played that position so many years. and is back there, starting there today and doing a good job, but he is not as physical as Middleton.
Well, when the season started and Warren was inactive and not playing, people thought the Redskins would go nowhere without him. Gerald Riggs is in the game at running back with 2 tight ends on 3rd and 1, and he may not make this one as he is driven back by a host of Rams. They were right there, led by Larry Kelm and Frank Stamms.
All in the spot on this one as Riggs, who is the short yardage specialist, got that football a little late. It looked like the quarterback had a little trouble turning and getting him that football. Riggs a little late getting his shoulder square to the line, and are they going to measure it? No, they're not. They're saying it is not a first down.
Well, Joe Gibbs warned his team that you're not going to be playing a team that looked as bad as they did Monday night against the 49ers, and so far the coach is right on the money because the Rams certainly look like a different club, and on 4th down, Goodburn will punt.
They worried about their intensity. It's the Ram intensity that has showed here in the first half so far.
Vernon Turner,
watch for the block here,
is deep for the Rams. They're looking to draw the Rams offside. That ploy doesn't work on 4th and 1. And a chance for Turner to return this one. But Algoy Mays grabbed hold of him. No, that was Brian Mitchell, who normally is at the other end returning the punts and kicks. And only a 4-yard return. They separate the athletes. And the Rams once again will start from good field position.
Is sponsored by McDonald's.
Terry Orr with his 2nd touchdown reception. Tony Zendejas with 2 field goals. And the time of possession, surprisingly, the Rams have the edge. And you might say right now they have at least outplayed the Redskins or played as hard. And Robert Del Pino in the starting lineup and has responded. First down on the 44-yard line of the Rams. And a swing pass out to Del Pino. And a good tackle by Wilbur Marshall. Del Pino, talking with us yesterday, said, look, I defy the odds. I was a 5th-round draft pick, not number 1. They said I wouldn't be durable. They said I couldn't carry the load. I've done all that, over 1,000 yards, and yet was very upset. And you were happy with the fact that he had the pride that he wasn't going to start.
Well, I think the thing that happened is that the Rams really wanted to give Marcus Dupree a chance to play and didn't realize how much it was going to hurt this fine young player to be snubbed that way. I think they've given him a chance to get back in the lineup. He's responded beautifully here today.
Cutting back inside, and Del Pino finds nothing. A penalty marker is down. Eric Williams making the tackle on 2nd down and long, and the Rams, who started in good field position, now will have to move back as a holding call against L.A.
Rams have started in good position all day long. You look at Del Pino's numbers on the year. I think that's
holding.
4th best in the NFL.
Offense. Number 67, 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down. 2nd down.
Duval Love, the right guard.
Dick, with that new setup in the offensive line, you're going to see a lot of stunts from the Redskins. They know that when you put new people together in there, those offensive linemen cannot think together. And it's easy to confuse them with stunts and blitzes and jumping around. The Redskins have done a lot of that here today.
4 wide receivers in the lineup for the Rams. 2nd down and 22. And Everett out of the shotgun. Doug Smith is the center on the shotgun. Everett's pass, and a big hit, but a good catch by Aaron Cox.
Brad Edwards, the safety, just almost knocked a hole in the receiver on that one. Whoa. Number 27, right here. Watch the hit that he gets. Reads the play beautifully. Gets a good jump on the football as Everett is watching his man all the way. That's Aaron Cox that just gets smashed to the ground. But an excellent job of hanging on to the football in traffic.
Redskins have Geathers and their nickel package in there with 6 backs on 3rd and 13. A design rollout, and Everett's pass is caught by Flipper Anderson, and that should be close to a first down, and it is. Darrell Green was defending on Flipper Anderson, who had missed 4 games earlier with a bad back.
Well, that's a Washington Redskin play as they get the little dash, the little partial roll to the outside. Anderson with a change of pace right there gets Darrell Green to drive upfield, and then the ball perfectly thrown to the outside as he came back to pick it up.
Darrell Green was burned, and Michael Irvin caught 9 passes against him last week, and Joe Gibbs said, I hope teams continue to throw at Darrell Green. That simply is not going to work.
Well, and the Rams simply said, we don't have that big physical back. If we had a Michael Irvin, we might go at him too. We don't have that guy. But they did get that one on him on that last play.
And a first down, and Del Pino slipped before the handoff, but it makes an alert play going up the middle. And a gain of 3 yards. It could have been worse for the Rams. Tim Johnson and Martin Mayhew on the tackle.
Matt Millen missed the tackle in the backfield. Del Pino, I'm sure, a surge of adrenaline right at the last second. John Robinson said something interesting to us yesterday. He said, I told our team earlier in the week, imagine being on national television, a big audience, you're playing the best team in the NFL, the best record in the NFL, and you are playing right there with them. He said, we can make that happen. Well, so far today, they have been able to do that. They're only 1 point down in this game.
2nd down and 7, and Everett going to the air, and the pass is nearly intercepted. Mayhew was defending Henry Ellard, and the pass never got to Ellard, and Mayhew just couldn't hold on to it, and that will bring up 3rd down.
I asked the Rams about which corner they were going to go at after last week's problems with Darrell Green. They still wanted to go at Mayhew, and here they come. Well, Mayhew gives them plenty there, has great position on Ellard. I think if he'd have been turned a little sooner, might have gotten his hands on that football rather than knocking it down.
It was not a good pass by Everett. Brings up 3rd down and 7 with just under 7 minutes to go in the first half. Monty Coleman, number 51, on the left side of the line, and Del Pino on the running play dives to the 35. So the crowd boos again after a 4-yard gain by Del Pino. Johnson on the stop. Again, the Rams running on a passing down.
A real change of pace for the Rams. Earlier this season, you would have had no question about that. But John Robinson has made a commitment. He said in these last games of the season, we're going to hammer with the running game.
And it is 4th and 3, and the Rams will go for it on 4th down.
Well, I think that's what he had in mind. He said it's sellout time. Jimmy Johnson did it last week. He made it work. Let's see what the Rams can do.
They have 4 wide receivers on 4th down and 3. And the pass is tipped incomplete at the line of scrimmage. And the Redskins will take over on down.
Tim Johnson, number 78, batted that football down. Johnson, one of those key acquisitions last year as the Skins shored up this defensive line. But you see him driving inside right there at the last second. The hand goes up, and the ball swatted away.
So the Redskins hold, and they'll take over on down with 6:11 to go in the half. They're taking over on downs. The Redskins not with their best, but good field position here at the 35. And a first down. Biner is the running back. Yes. And a play fake. And Rippon drills it to Gary Clark. What a pass by Biner. A rifle and a gain of 24 yards, or by Rippon, and Pat Terrell making the tackle.
Mark Rippon, the best chunk quarterback in the league, able to go for those big pieces of yardage. They freeze the linebackers, and Clark streaks across through the open area where they should have been. Pat Terrell is there, but not until the ball is caught and comfortably tucked away.
Coming into the game, Gary Clark needed 44 yards to go over the 1,000-yard mark for the 3rd straight year, and he's inching closer. First down. Biner can't get away from Kevin Green, and a loss of 3 yards on that play.
Kevin Green, a forgotten man earlier in this season. Jeff Fisher told him, look, we're not going to create a position for you. You're going to have to learn to play either defensive end in this 4-man set or linebacker, and Kevin couldn't fit. He really didn't fit. Well, now they've changed their tune a little bit, and there's Jeff Fisher. He said, Kevin, you're going to have a chance to play. We'll find room for you. He hasn't got the numbers this year he's had in the past, but he's playing hard here today.
He says he wants to become the dominant defensive player again that he was. 2nd down and 12. And the pass is caught by Biner for a short gain. That'll bring up 3rd and long for the Redskins, a gain of only 6 yards. It was Larry Kelm and then Brett Ferinaires.
Redskins appreciate number 91. He didn't go unnoticed here. Donnie Warren is out there. Joe Jacoby is out there. They know what Kevin Green looks like.
He had the most quarterback sacks in the last 3 years, 46. Only 1 this year. He wants to get back to that 46. 3rd down and 6 now on the 36-yard line of the Rams. Ricky Urbans is checked in. There was pressure on Rippon going for Clark, and the pass is picked off. Darrell Henley with the interception in the end zone. The first turnover of the game, and Darrell Henley leading the Rams now with his 3rd interception of the season.
Henley excited yesterday. He said, hey, I'm as big as these wide receivers. He was the receiver on that play.
And he said that covering Gary Clark was the best matchup he'd have all year because they're about the same size, about 5'9". Position of the game. With 3:59 to go in the half, and the pitch to Del Pino outside, and a fine play by Tim Johnson. He's played an inspired game defensively for the Redskins.
Against the blitz, Rippon will slide to his left, and it's just an up pattern to Clark. It's man on man, and Henley, as this ball is in the air, said, hey, this is my ball. You see him, he's the receiver on that play, goes up and pulls it down. Fine play by Henley.
And Michael Stewart was a safety on the blitz that the Redskins picked up. But Rippon with the interception. And now that's 10 on the year for Rippon. 2nd down and 11, and a quick toss to Del Pino. He holds on after the big crunching hit by Copeland. And a gain of 8 yards.
Enough big plays so far in this game. A turnover. Some big hits on special teams. A few breaks on offense and defense. And the Rams' confidence level goes up and up and up. The Redskins really have allowed them to stay in this ball game, and the longer that goes, the more dangerous this Ram team becomes.
And that man knows it as much as anyone. 3rd down and 2 on the 20, make it 3rd and 3 on the 28-yard line. A sidearm toss, but there's Damone Johnson. The tight end wide open up the middle, and a gain of 19 yards. Wilbur Marshall makes the tackle, and all of a sudden, the Rams are near midfield.
Damone Johnson will simply just bounce down, a little bit of a fake there, and come right across the middle. There's the sidearm toss off the back foot. How in the world did Everett ever get the ball there? Not good mechanics, but an excellent completion.
This is an inspired effort by the Rams, who have lost 6 in a row, their longest losing streak in a quarter of a century. But they're giving the Redskins all they can handle, and we're down to 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Concern well-founded on the part of the Redskins right now. We'll be back. And going deep and overthrowing his man, Flipper Anderson. Darrell Green on his heels. That was a good time to take a shot, Merlin.
An excellent opportunity, and he went all the way downfield. Good protection on that last play. The Redskins, as we said, will be running a lot of stunts. And watch it here as they run the tackle inside. Man will come all the way around, but the Rams do an excellent job of picking it up. They've got bodies in place, and Everett is able to get it off. Although, again, I think the winds wreak havoc as Everett shoots that ball long against the breeze.
2nd down and 10. At least the Rams looking to get into field goal range for a chance to take the lead before the end of the half. Rolling out is Everett. The receivers are covered, and his pass up for grabs. Nearly intercepted, and should have been by 2 Redskins, Brad Edwards and Darrell Green. Either one of them could have picked it off.
Not a good pass. Up for grabs, and again, Everett with a surprising amount of time to roll around back there in the backfield. He hasn't had this amount of time, and he did not expect it today. Throwing that ball deep, as you watch here, he goes back against the grain on the body, and that ball well underthrown should have been picked off, but the fight between two Redskins put it on the ground.
You've got to give a lot of credit to the offensive front of the Rams, because Redskins had 7 sacks against Dallas last week, their season's high in defeat. No sacks today. 3rd down and 10, and the quick pass is caught and held on by Aaron Cox. It'll be a 1st down in Redskin territory. A gain of 15 yards, and whatever they're doing with Coleman and Collins defending, the Rams are making it work, and they're going to use a timeout, I believe.
Rams have torn a page out of the Redskin book as they're being able to use Pat Carter in a motion position and using him in pass protection.
1:29 remaining in the half, and the Rams getting very close to field goal range. 6, but the Rams are threatening. They have 2 timeouts remaining, and their drive started on the 20 following Darrell Henley's interception. They have a 1st down on the Redskins 37-yard line with 1:29 to go in the half. They bring Aaron Cox out to the bottom of your picture. And the quick toss incomplete. Ellard was the intended receiver, and Alboyd Mays was defending, and it was a quick rush throw and not a good one by Everett, but he's had a pretty good 1st half.
He has, but he slipped back into a bad habit there, and Everett has done this all year long. I think the pounding he took last year and the pounding he took early this year has caused him to want to flick that ball instead of stepping up and throwing the football. And boy, he did it that time, and it was just another lousy throw.
Already has thrown for 119 yards, has Everett.
Well, when he steps up and delivers the ball, he does it as well as anybody.
2nd down and 10 out of the shotgun. Everett trying to avoid a sack, and he can't. So instead of throwing it away, he took the sack, and that will knock the Rams out of field goal range. A loss of 4 yards, and Monty Coleman picks up the 1st sack of the game by the Washington Redskins.
When you can't find a receiver downfield, you'll see the play develop. Everett is looking all over the place. He can't find a single soul. There they are right there. Look at this. Look at the coverage here. Double here. This man's covered, and there are no other receivers. Where do you go? Well, you don't go anywhere. And Everett should have thrown it away, but he ate it instead.
So it's 3rd and 14 with under a minute to go in the half, and Everett's going to go down again, and a fumble. A loose ball, and now the Rams recover. They did not blow the whistle.
Well, I don't think it's blown yet. There, now finally we got a whistle. The ball Love should have become a running back there. The Skins came in with 42 sacks. They've picked up a couple quickly here.
Geathers and Mann that time converged on Everett, and the Redskins, with 46 seconds left and a chance to get their hands on the ball again, used their 1st timeout of this half. So for Charles Mann, that is his 8.5 sack of the season.
Vern Brostick, number 61, really having trouble with Jumpy Gathers, as Gathers just swept him aside and smashed Del Pino, and I think he hurt Del Pino on that last play. Maybe we can see that again, get a chance to look at that play. Beautiful job, and there's Del Pino being worked on the sideline as he took a straight shot from Jumpy Gathers upfield. Here's the play. Here's Gathers. Watch it right here as he just throws Vern Brostick. And there's the shot on number 39, Del Pino, that sent him to the sideline. It looked like a shoulder problem as well as being smacked in the back of the legs.
Gathers, as you look at Del Pino getting up, Gathers is the strongest man on the Redskins squad. And he's on the sidelines. Dale Hatcher will kick it away, and a chance for the Redskins to have one last gasp here. Brian Mitchell with a fair catch, and he makes the catch, and very nearly one of the Rams ran into him.
Jerry Gray, and that should have been a penalty. Looked like he had his hands in there.
On Del Pino after the 37-yard. Well, coming up next Sunday, and it begins at 12:30 Eastern with the NFL to the Eagles and the Giants. That's a battle. The Eagles trounced the Giants the last time out in Philadelphia. This is the return engagement. 4 o'clock games include the Niners at Seattle, Atlanta at the Rams here at Anaheim, and the Redskins against the Cardinals in Phoenix. That's next Sunday on CBS Sports.
The ultimate challenge for a choke quarterback. Let's see if they can get it downfield.
First down on the 13-yard line. Rippon got rushed, and he got it off to Biner. Biner with a good run upfield. Wins his way to the 33-yard line with 26 seconds to go, and a timeout is called by the Redskins, their second. Todd Light made the tackle after a gain of 20.
Kevin Green said he rushes better off the left side. He's been over there all day. Gets away from Jacoby, but that's what they want him to do on this play.
Big game. First down on the 33 for the Redskins with 25 seconds to go in the half as Rippon drills it to Art Monk out of bounds with 20 seconds to go. There's Del Pino trying to get it together. He has a strained groin, and the word is that he'll be back. 9-yard gain that time by Art Monk, and you never forget about the last few seconds, as the Redskins learned last week against the Cowboys with that Hail Mary play.
Sure, they're remembering a lot of what happened last week, and I think the frustration of this day is that their tempo, their intensity level was not lifted more in the early part of this game.
Second down and 1. Rippon wants to go deep with it, and he's got Art Monk, but 2 defenders, and in and out of the hands of Michael Stewart. He had a chance for an interception, and well covered was Art Monk way downfield.
I'm sure that any confident quarterback is willing to go to a favorite receiver even when he's covered. But this is a dangerous pass. Rippon with a little dash to his left, time to throw, and Monk got away from the first defender, but good range by Michael Stewart, the safety, who just played the action of the ball and got there in plenty of time to knock it away. You've got to hit those receivers. You've got to break up the pattern, break up their timing. That's what you're seeing the Rams do right there.
3rd and 1. The Redskins have been unsuccessful on 3rd down today. And now they are, as Gary Clark is going for the out of bounds, and he gets there with 4 seconds remaining. Very alert play by Clark and a gain of 16 yards. It was Jerry Gray and Sammy Lilly, the nickelbacks, defending on the play. 4 seconds to go. Let's see, they're out of field goal range. It would have to be over 60.
Well, maybe they'll, but wait a minute.
They're going to try it anyway.
I think because of the way the winds are blowing on the field, Lohmiller told me before the game he was hitting them comfortably from 55. This is going to be from 60, but he has a powerful leg. Let's see if he can do it.
Here it is from 60 yards. And a bad snap. We never would have known because the snap was bad and the kick is no good. Lohmiller misses his second field goal of the game, and that is the end of the first half with the score. The Washington Redskins 7 and the Los Angeles Rams 6 in a surprise. Interception, and Darrell Henley in the end zone on the pass intended for Gary Clark picked it off, but obviously the Rams are playing inspired ball as we get set for the kickoff. If you're the Redskins, what do? You know the running game has been there. They've averaged 4 yards a rush. Look at that, 34 yards, but they've been effective when they've run. But how do they get it back? As the kick by Lohmiller is into the end zone, it'll be a touchback, and the Rams will start from the 20-yard line.
Dick, I think if the Redskins keep pounding the second half, emotional football drains you. And there's no question that the Redskins physically match very well against this Ram team. It's a mismatch in that side. And I think in this second half, you'll begin to see that mismatch pay off for the Redskins.
So Jim Everett leads the Rams 12 for 21 and 119 yards in the first half. First down from the 20, and it's a pass play, and it's in and out of the hands of Henry Ellard with Darrell Green, the closest defender. That was a pass that Ellard might have been able to catch.
That turf is a little bit hard, and it looks like some of the receivers, as they spin away to try and get that quick turn, are having trouble with the footing. And I think that's what happened to Ellard, as he was not able to get fully around.
Robert Del Pino, who was taken out after a strong hit with an injured groin, is back in the lineup as we start the second half. Second down and 10 on the 20-yard line. And here is Del Pino up the middle. And Williams got a hold of his foot, and he brings it out to the 25-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd and 5 for the Rams.
Vern Brostick, number 61 right here, is still trying to handle Tim Johnson. He'll get a little help from Doug Smith right here. They get the double team. Well, actually, that's Newberry. That's the second center in there. But Tim Johnson just stuffs the hole with Newberry. Gets a good piece of him and puts him back in there and makes it tough to run.
And speaking of back in there, Doug Smith is back in there on the shotgun. 3rd down and 5. And a quick pass and a reception by Flipper Anderson. He's got the 1st down. And a fumble is recovered by the Redskins. Anderson had it and lost it, and it was Wilbur Marshall who picks up the fumble for the Redskins, their first turnover of the game. A bad opening for the Rams here, and we may have a review of this one, but here it is.
Cox just simply goes down, gets a little stop there, and heads across. Well, he's going to help on this one on the far side. Here's what we wanted to see. Flipper Anderson, and they're dragging the football out. Right there, stripped away, no question. If the whistle had not blown, clearly away and clearly a stripped ball by the defense.
And they are going to review it. Dick Antak has just informed everybody of that fact. It was Martin Mayhew who stripped Flipper Anderson of the ball, and Wilbur Marshall alertly fell on it.
Well, it shouldn't surprise you. The Redskins work on this every day. Take the football away. They'll stack somebody in there, get him held up, and right there it's Wilbur Marshall going for the football and jerking it loose. Well, you don't review face masks, but does there appear to be a face mask here by Mayhew?
Well, there might be, but that's...
No, he's got the jersey. The jersey comes down, the head comes down. He did not have the face mask, but they certainly did have the football.
They're reviewing as to whether if the whistle had blown, they wouldn't be reviewing it. The official would just say the whistle had blown. They want to see whether the player was down.
Of course, the official is supposed to blow the whistle when forward progress is stopped. There was a question. Sometimes those receivers hurt themselves.
Play stands is called. Defenders strip the ball from the receiving team. 1st down.
Tough break for the Rams, but a great opportunity for the Redskins, who are in a lot tougher game than they bargained for. As we start this 3rd quarter, you can see the distraught John Robinson, and now it's a 1st down on the 34 of the Rams. Here is Ernest Biner. Biner maybe a yard, and Robert Young making the tackle. He has been an outstanding defensive lineman in a sea of changes for the Rams this year. He is the rookie, played his college ball at Mississippi State, and is one of those Rams that is going to be around in the future.
One of the few. In fact, we asked Jeff Fisher to draw circles around some of the people that he could build on. He said Robert Young is one, Fred Strickland is another, and Roman Pfeiffer. He stopped at 3.
That's not a lot of names. 2nd down and 9. Then they go to Biner. Biner gets to the 29-yard line. It was David Rocker, and then Kevin Green joined on it in a gain of 3 yards.
Of course, we were talking about the front 7. We don't want to throw rocks at that secondary. The strength of this defense really is the Rams secondary.
You don't want to throw rocks at Rocker, who made that last play. Jeff Fisher, who said that next year I would use 11 of our 14 draft picks to pick defensive players. No question where he stands.
He's a defensive coordinator. Hey, he's done a great job here today.
3rd down and 6. And a big down, really. And Rippon is going for Sanders, and he's got it for the touchdown. the man who has beaten Jerry Gray, and Ricky Sanders with his 4th touchdown catch of the year as the Redskins capitalize on the fumble and lead it now 13-6 on a 30-yard touchdown play. And Sanders with a touchdown reception in each of the last 3 games. Chip Lohmiller adds the extra point, and it's 14-6. He's been a forgotten man in many ways from the posse, but he's delivered right here.
Protection. Only 4 sacks allowed. Perfect protection here for Rippon. He delivers the football. And on the other side of it, Ricky Sanders man-to-man on Gray, and Gray lost his job because he couldn't cover the speed receiver. He proved it again here.
Lohmiller with the kickoff, and it's a short kick. And it'll be David Lang returning for the Rams. Lang is trying to make amends for his muff of a kick in the end zone by the 49ers that resulted in a safety, but a big day for Sanders. With Atlanta beating Green Bay 35-31. First 3-game winning streak for the Falcons since 1986. And Atlanta with the victory stays hot on the wild card berth, and the Saints, even if they win and they're trailing to the 49ers, cannot clinch the NFC West. They are in the playoffs though with a win. First down on the 18-yard line for the Rams who trail 14-6. Everett dumps it off, and it's incomplete. McGee out of the backfield was the intended receiver, but all of a sudden that pocket seems to be closing in on Jim Everett.
Well, we mentioned the changes in that offensive line and that it would require some real adjustments. Watch them up front. Here's another one of those stunts. The 2 tackles inside, stunning on this one, but it's Collins, or Andre Collins from the outside, that puts the squeeze. He knocked Delpino right on his backside.
Well, one thing the Rams told us yesterday, you try anything new on the Redskins, they'll fix it up the next time they see it. They adjust beautifully. The pitch to Delpino going outside, and Delpino with a good run. May be close to a first down, short by less than a yard as Martin Mayhew drove him out of bounds.
Jackie Slater in his 16th season and still playing some fine football. Well, there's another name we recognize.
Yes, Merlin Olsen, you're my partner.
Several 15-year guys that I can remember looking around the locker room in my 15th year and saying, what am I doing here? I think Jackie Slater has lived well beyond that. But I tell you, the interesting thing about Slater is that he can still pass protect, and he still has great sense on the field as well as great leadership for this Ram team.
2 tight ends out of the eye, and here is Marcus Dupree, who dives for the first down. As he gets to the 30-yard line, Dupree getting an opportunity. Did not start today, although he was intended to. Scored his first NFL touchdown last week in the loss to the 49ers. 11.5 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Dick Stockton and Merlin Olsen here at Anaheim Stadium with a sellout crowd on hand. It's been a tight game, and a surprisingly tight game, with the Rams trailing the Redskins 14-6. Dupree stays into the game, but this is a pass play. And going deep, Flipper Anderson just beyond him, and Brad Edwards was covering. And another good pressure by Eric Williams, again from the inside.
A little more time. Look up on the right side. Eric Williams, number 75, going to burst inside here along Charles Mann, 71. They go right around in the stunt, and it's Williams exploding right into the chest of Everett on that play. And Everett did have the man open downfield. Flipper Anderson, you let him run, you've got problems. But with that kind of pressure, he could not deliver the ball accurately.
2nd down and 10. Here's Dupree. And Dupree gets about 4 yards. Danny Copeland, among others, making the tackle. It's important for the Rams not to abandon their running game now, down 14-6, even though there's plenty of time to go, because if they start to throw the ball, that's getting away from the way you would beat Washington and also the way that John Robinson believes.
Well, John has allowed his team to become very one-dimensional, and he said the one thing he's perhaps sorriest about in terms of what has happened to this Ram team is they have become less physical. They have lost that running establishment, the kind of power, the kind of banging that they were able to do earlier in his career.
3rd down and 6. Pass intended for Del Pino is incomplete, and that will bring up 4th down, and the Rams will have to kick.
I'll tell you, that pressure and the pounding on the quarterback really takes away from his ability to concentrate on those receivers, and you saw it there.
And the way to keep them away is to get the ball moving on the ground, and that's always been John Robinson's style. So Dale Hatcher is in to kick it away, and Brian Mitchell is back deep for the Redskins.
Another bad kick.
Low line drive, and Mitchell with an opportunity for a good return here.
Look out.
Mitchell to the 35, and it's Hatcher, the kicker, who knocks him out of bounds at the 33 of the Rams.
You hit a low line driver like that, you set it up for the return team.
A 41-yard return by Mitchell. That is not his longest of the year. He has run back 2 for scores.
You just cannot get coverage people down quick enough, but this is an excellent look at the move right there on Marcus Dupree as Mitchell goes back against the grain, outruns Newman right there. Good speed, one man to beat, but Hatcher able to save it. I'm sure concerned because his bad kick set up the return.
And a 1st down on the Ram 32. The Redskins looking for another touchdown, and Ricky Irvins is hit immediately after getting the handoff. Might have picked up a yard. Mitchell, one of the outstanding return men, as you know, the Redskins spend so much time working on special teams.
In fact, I asked if he was going to be used more on the offensive side, and they said, we'd love to use him offensively, but he is so valuable to us as a return man and so important to us that we want to keep him fresh for that.
Joe Gibbs with a record of 35 and 15 following losses in his career. 2nd down and 9 from the 31. Here's Irvins again, and not much doing as the hole closed off the right side, and that will bring up about 3rd and 9. Brett Farinairs making the stop for the Rams.
Redskins pounding on that right side today, going in back of big Jake Jacoby and Mark Schlereth over on that side. Looks to me like they've kind of become right-handed today. Either they like the size of those guys on the right side or they're looking at something defensively. The one thing that is there defensively is Kevin Green, and I think they're trying to neutralize him with the running game as well.
He's at the top of your picture on defense. 3rd down and 9 for the Redskins. Rippon going away from Green's side, and his pass intended for Monk is broken up by Henley. He thought he had a chance for another interception. He's picked off 1 already today.
What a great job here. Art Monk has gone to double moves at this point in his career. Watch him as he works on Henley, and Henley's not buying it. The little outside move and then the up and then the back, but Henley is right there, and he became the defender in that case, knocking a sure interception out of Henley's hands.
Chip Lohmiller is aboard. He has missed 2 field goals, 1 from 60. This will be a 48-yard attempt.
All right.
Lohmiller's kick is going to be off again, off to the left. So Lohmiller is in a field goal slump. Although they've been long kicks and into the wind, he's 0 for 3 this afternoon.
And 2 bad snaps earlier.
Escape that problem. 1st and 10 on the 31-yard line. Del Pino gets the pitch with Buford McGee blocking, but cutting through and making a fine play was Charles Mann, and there's a penalty marker down. We have not had many penalties this afternoon.
Mann was offsides on the play, got across early. He's going to be the man that's responsible for not only the tackle, but also for the offside.
Dick Cantack And his crew have done an outstanding job this afternoon. This is only
Offside.
our 5th penalty.
Defense, number 71. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. First down.
So Merlin right on it with man offsides, and it'll be first down and 5.
I think when you're suffering with a leg problem, and it's that troublesome right knee bothering Charles Mann again, that your game is a little off speed, and Mann trying to compensate for that injury, trying to get the extra quickness on the get off.
And Bobby Wilson, the #1 pick, the rookie from Michigan State, has replaced him. First and 5 on the 36-yard line. And here is Del Pino, but he gets nothing. And it was Eric Williams. I tell you, the inside of the Redskins defense, the 2 tackles, both in run defense and pass rush, have done a terrific job today. Tim Johnson and Eric Williams.
Watch Eric Williams. He's the guy right here in the middle of your picture. He's just going to take on the blocker. He's been working all day in there. Takes on the blocker right there, sheds him, and then drives right into the hole to make the matchup right there with Del Pino. It's getting rid of that blocker that is the key part of that. And that's exactly what Williams was able to do, to get rid of that blocker.
2nd and 4, Marcus Dupree in the lineup with Del Pino in the backfield. The pass, Del Pino, and he couldn't hold on. The pass is incomplete, and Andre Collins covering the back well on the play. That will bring up 3rd down.
You feel some of the pain and some of the wear and tear, but John Robinson very, very pleased at the way his team is performing today. Much better, I'm sure, than even he could have expected. And of course, this game very important, as are the final games in this season, because there is real question about his future with the Rams if he can't get this team to turn around.
Well, Monty Coleman has gotten the Redskins turned around a lot on 3rd down plays this year. Charles Mann is back in the game, and the pass is complete to Buford McGee. And the Rams have a first down. And a flag. Is there a penalty down? A shoe is down. Well,
it looks like a flag down, too.
And if it is, it'll be against the Rams. And yes, a penalty has been thrown, and it is against the Rams. That'll nullify the first down. An 8-yard pickup will go by the board.
Illegal motion. Offense, number 80. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. 3rd down.
Henry Ellard. So the Rams now will have to come back again on 3rd down and 9. Giants leading the Bengals 17-7 in the 3rd quarter. 49ers now a touchdown ahead of the Saints, also in the 3rd quarter. Third down and 9 from the 32-yard line of the Rams. We have 7 minutes, 11 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Everett fires, and Aaron Cox had a hand on it, couldn't hold on. Everett might have been able to run for it, but decided to go for Cox deep, and it was Brad Edwards and Al Boyd Mays downfield.
Pat Collins right here, an extra tight end. Pat Carter is an extra blocker in there, and they give Everett a little bit of extra time. Watch Carter, as he is one of the key pickup guys here. Everett finally able to drift out of the pocket. They've got everyone picked up. At the last second, releases just before he hits the line of scrimmage, but he didn't get a spiral on that football. Shook it out of there, and it was too long.
Hatcher on 4th down finally gets a high kick, and a fair catch called for by Mitchell.
Oh, they're lucky there.
And it'll be out of bounds. Well, Everett, by the way, has completed only 2 of his last 11 passes. But 6:47 to go. John Robinson can't be all that disturbed, down only 14-6. Buddy Ryan's defensive guru while Buddy was in Philadelphia.
And matched up twice a year against the Redskins. Had spent a lot of time during the season and during the offseason studying their offensive plan. A lot of teams are intimidated by the complexity of the Redskins offense. Jeff Fisher is not intimidated. He's communicated that to his players. They're playing a simple, aggressive defense today, and it's been very effective against this Redskin offense.
First down on the 38-yard line, and Rippon going to the air has Art Monk, and Gray has Monk immediately, and a gain of a couple. They're calling this, it's a hurry-up offense.
This was the one good drive they got against Dallas last week out of a hurry-up set.
People always then wonder why they don't do it all the time.
You get tired if you do it all game.
2nd and 6. Here's a slant pass to Clark. And he's got Henley on his shoulder. It's good enough for the first down, on his foot, I should say. I should know the anatomy there. And a first down just on the Rams side of midfield.
Darrell Henley said, I line up ordinarily 8 yards back. On Clark, I'll be 9 yards back. The extra yard killed him on that play.
Clark 3 for 50, and he's gone over 1,000 yards for the 3rd straight season. Biner gets the call up the middle, and Larry Kelm brings him down after a pickup of about 5.
Dick, we had a chance to watch Ernest Biner earlier in the year, and he looked quicker, especially on those lateral moves earlier in the year. I know he's had a knee injury, and that may have slowed him a bit, but he does not appear to be as quick now.
2nd down and 6. Rippon's pass is batted down at the line. Might have been Mike Charles, and it was. And the pass is incomplete. Merlin, you talk about Biner. His season's best was against the Oilers when he gained 112 yards, and that was the game in which he sprained his knee. In the last 3 games, he had gained only 50 yards. Irvins, on the other hand, has gained 152. That's why a lot of people thought Irvins might get the bigger play.
Well, I think you're going to see them in combination and perhaps much more of Irvins, but there's no question that Biner is still the main man.
3rd down and 6 at the 45 of the Rams. Plenty of time for Rippon, and he threads the needle to Gary Clark. Pat Terrell prevents further advance, but a 21-yard gain. And Clark with his 4th reception of the game. Michael Stewart had missed the tackle on Clark. And a first down on the 25.
Simply a matter of time. Biner breaks to the outside. Clark comes to the inside. And with all the time in the world, they pick it up.
Here's Biner on first down with good blocking. And he may get another first down. Michael Stewart on the tackle that time. And the Redskins, since they've gone into the hurry-up, have been a lot crisper and moving the ball and close to another first down.
And they're hurrying back to the line of scrimmage. That 3rd down pickup moments ago, only their 3rd of the day. They're now 3 for 8. So after a bad week last week, they have still had problems converting on 3rd down.
First down it is on the 14. Biner for a couple up the middle and a penalty marker down. And that normally indicates holding thrown by the umpire. And it is holding against Washington.
One of the reasons you go to that hurry-up offense is you like to get some confusion in that secondary. Force the mistake.
Holding. Offense. Number 63. 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down. First down.
Raleigh McKenzie was holding on the play, and especially against a Ram team that you could rattle a little bit. This is an ideal situation for a hurry-up.
Well, you like to keep them out there. Don't let them change. Don't let them put their specialty people in there. Force them to play and keep pushing at them, hoping that someone is going to forget where they're supposed to be.
First down and 20 now. Back to the 24. Rippon with a deep drop and a screen pass set up to Ricky Irvins. He's got blockers and he's got room and he's got a touchdown. His first NFL touchdown as a receiver. He used to park cars at the Rose Bowl, starred in the Rose Bowl, and now he scores for the Redskins in Southern California coming back home, and it's now a 20-6 lead for the Redskins. Chip Lohmiller connects, and it's 21-6 now. Washington.
The perfect situation on a screen is to catch your opponent in the blitz. Watch number 23. Here comes the blitz. Man-to-man coverage. The quick flick to the outside, and there's no one around. You don't even have to block. Well, there's one guy, but he'll miss. Downfield into the end zone.
And this is going to be Vernon Turner at the 1-yard line. Turner is tackled by Clarence Vaughn, on a return of 22 yards, and a penalty marker is down.
A late flag went down, and there was a little bit of action after the tackle taking place down there.
Rams are setting up as if the penalty, and it is, against them. Illegal block. So that'll put Jim Everett and the offense in a hole here as the Rams try to climb back.
Illegal block in the back on the return. Penalize half the distance. First down.
Next Saturday, Olympic Winterfest. Countdown to Albertville. U.S. against Team Canada in hockey, live from Albany, New York. And then the season premiere of NCAA basketball. Bobby Knight's Indiana Hoosiers host Rick Pitino's Kentucky Wildcats. That's all next Saturday, starting at 1 o'clock Eastern here on CBS. Starting from the 9-yard line, needing 3 scores, but with 3:51 to go in the third, Everett's pass is caught by Henry Ellard, who got a couple of yards after the reception, and he's got the first down. Brad Edwards on the play and a pickup of 14.
Excellent play by the Rams. Dick, aside from the difference in their records, the biggest difference in these two teams is in their expectations. The Rams came into this ball game expecting to lose. The Redskins came in expecting to win. Now, the first part of this ball game, much different than either coach could have anticipated. But I think what we're seeing now is the results of that confidence and the expectations.
2 tight ends and the I formation, and Buford McGee, the first back through, does not fool Fred Stokes. And a yard on that play.
Talked to Fred Stokes just before the game, and I said, did you really ever get a chance here? He said, no, they wouldn't let me play. He said they kept putting me on injured reserve and saying, don't worry, you'll get a chance down the road. Well, he has gotten his opportunity to play for the Redskins, and he has become a force.
Well, you know, not just this year. Last season, he led the Redskins with 7.5 quarterback sacks. He came into this game with 8, second to Charles Mann. 2nd down and 9 on the 24. Del Pino goes in motion. And the pass to Del Pino, and he's hit immediately by Darrell Green, and a gain of 5 yards.
I asked Darrell Green, I said, when you come off a game like last week, do you change anything? He said, well, he said, you really don't. He said, it just so happens that it's a 3-week cycle for me, and I'm going back to review my critique myself on my technique. And he said, I did that, but he said it was just a great day for Michael Irvin. He said, there's no question, it's a day I'd like to forget, but I'm not going to change the way I play because of last week.
Sometimes you just have to credit the guy who got it done.
Well, he did that.
3rd down and 4. A big 3rd down play.
Nice.
Completes the pass to Henry Ellard. Still on his feet, and Ellard dives forward for a big gain of 14 yards and another first down. Marshall and Mays on the stop. And I said that was a big 3rd down for the Rams, but considering the way the tempo of this game has gone in favor of the Redskins, they needed that first down.
The Rams still alive on this drive, and this is one that they're reaching down deep for. They have got to get another score on the board, and they probably have to do it on this drive if they're going to stay in the game.
Under 1.5 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Everett is going long. He's got a man, and it's knocked away by Green, and no flag is down. Flipper Anderson was the intended receiver, and Green played it perfectly.
You cannot play man-to-man any better than Darrell Green did on that last play. And using the rule, a couple of years ago, this would have been an interference call. He does make contact at the end, but watch his head turn back toward the quarterback right there. And with his head back toward the quarterback, that's incidental contact. He also knocked that ball away pretty darn well. Beautiful play, Darrell Green.
2nd down and 10 on the 44 of the Rams. They have a penalty as Dupree has nowhere to go. And he's going to lose a bunch. No flag was thrown. The Rams are saying that one of the Redskins might have jumped off the left side. Andre Collins made the stop on Dupree in a loss of, what, only 7 yards? Seemed like more.
Eric Williams jumped offside but got back, and that's not offside. That's not encroachment if you got back. He was back in time. The ball was snapped, and the Rams made a critical mistake. They stopped. You never stop until the play is over.
The Saints and the 49ers are now tied. Fred McAfee with a 12-yard run with 3:44 to go in the third has tied up the Saints and the Niners at 17.
Dick, if the Rams keep shooting on those long passes, they're going to hook up on one of them. They've been close all day long.
Third down and 16. Geathers is chasing Everett, and the pass is tipped incomplete, intended for Flipper Anderson. And I'm sure Greg Gumbel is going to tell us how the Saints tied up the Niners. Let's go to Greg now.
Well, Dick, as you mentioned, it was Fred McAfee out of the backfield, 12-yard touchdown run, 3:44 remaining in the third. Saints and the Niners are tied at 17 apiece. Meanwhile, the best touchdown of the day, the Space Shuttle Atlantis at Edwards Air Force Base just a short while ago, Dick.
And that may be the best highlight you'll have for us, Greg.
Robinson saying his man was hit, but after the tip, you don't get an interference call.
Hatcher's kick. Mitchell, I don't know how he held on to that ball. And it's still Redskins ball with 6 seconds to go in the third quarter. Anthony Newman making the tackle. Next Sunday on the NFL, big game is the Eagles against the Giants. Both teams hot on the trail for a wild card, and the Giants trying to avenge a loss earlier in the year. Niners are at Seattle. The Falcons are at the Rams. And the Redskins, they go to Phoenix to play their old buddy Joe Bugle and the Cardinals. Next Sunday, and it all begins with the NFL Today, beginning at 12:30 Eastern.
Looked like a late flag thrown against the Rams. Maybe something said to the officials. It's a big 15-yard mark.
Ineligible on the kicking team downfield prior to the punt. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. Fourth down.
They're going to kick. They're going to kick it again with now 6 seconds are showing on the clock, and I think they're going to have to. Well, no, they'll keep the clock at 6. And Mitchell will move up a bit to the 30-yard line.
No wonder it's a big penalty. Goes all the way back and re-kick. The Redskins have had trouble twice today. Short kicks have put Mitchell up among his blockers. And several times today, a dangerous situation. The ball almost hitting his blockers.
Haskell's the coach of the special teams. Hatcher has not had a big day kicking. And once again, the Redskins will have good field position as Mitchell brings it back after a 31-yard kick, a 14-yard return. And that is the end of the third quarter. With the score, the Redskins 21 and the Rams 6. Our coverage will continue after this message from your local station. Brian Mitchell's had a big day in returns, and the Redskins have good field position. As we start the fourth quarter, they're on their own 48-yard line. 2 tight ends and Ernest Biner, who gets the handoff and dives into Ram territory. And a good gain on first down. Making the tackle was Frank Stams and Robert Young, and a gain of 5 yards.
The Rams using their 15th and 16th defensive linemen. And the Redskins saying very simply, we are going to go right down your throat. That's something that Rennie Simmons, offensive line coach, along with Jim Hannafin, have been preaching all week long. Well, we may get to see it here in the fourth quarter.
Second down and 5 on the 47 of the Rams.
Yellow 40! Yellow 40!
Again, it's Biner, and he dives forward. And he's very close to the first down. The Redskins in the second half have had great field position. Their worst possession started from their own 38-yard line and twice started in Ram territory. They'll be short of the first down here. Will bring up 3rd and 1.
Chance to build a little confidence with that running game. A couple of big hits with the run. Come right back on 3rd down. Stick it down that defense's throat again.
Well, when you have a lead of 21-6, you want to use the clock. 3rd down and 1.
Road 50! Road 50! 370! 370!
There is Biner. He's got the first down and then some. And gets inside the 40-yard line. Frank Stams again making the tackle.
Ram defensive line wearing down here in the fourth quarter. And they're wearing down because they're being hammered. Joe Jacoby, number 66. Mark Schlereth, 69. Good blocking by Terry Orr. And Warren also getting a good block in there. Good job as they hammer it for the first down.
Biner has gained 48 yards this afternoon. Remember, he had gained only 50 in the last 3 games, so he's done a lot better today. First down on the 39 of the Rams, early here in the fourth quarter. Again, they go to Biner. And this time, nothing doing, and Larry Kelm got through in a gain of only 1 yard. This is Redskin football, the pound away, as Merlin mentioned. Redskins are looking to wrap up the NFC East title. It would be their first division championship since 1987, the year they won their last Super Bowl.
I can tell you this, John Robinson has a lot of respect for this kind of football. He said, you throw an incomplete pass, what do you get? A 1 yard gain, at least you get a good belly punch on the guy. You made him hurt a little bit.
And you take some time off the clock. Second down and 10. This time Rippon will go out to Biner as a receiver. And Biner lunges, tries to get close to the first down. Short by a foot. Darrell Henley that time made the tackle.
Dick, you look around the league and look at how many teams are leading at the half that are not good teams, that lose that lead in the second half. Good teams know how to put their opponent away. Good teams rarely lose the games they're supposed to win. The Redskins are trying to prove that they're one of those great teams today by putting this opponent away here in the fourth quarter.
Rams had trailed only 7-6 at the half. Third down and 1. Gerald Riggs, the third down back. And 3 tight ends in there, and Riggs dives for the first down and gets close to the 25-yard line as the clock now shows 11:20 remaining in the fourth quarter. Redskins have won 7 of their last 9 games against these Rams, and remember that 2 of those games were playoff victories.
Fisher has to be frustrated. He had his team emotionally ready. He had them in good defenses early, but they are simply wearing out. They cannot match up physically against these Redskins.
First down for Washington on the Ram 25. 21-6. Biner cutting inside. And when you run the ball, you use the clock. You give the defense more time to rest on the sideline. Larry Kelm making the tackle, and you can just see how the Rams are getting worn down, something you pointed out.
You see those chests heaving. What do we do now, Coach? That was the look from Larry Kelm. This is exactly what Joe Gibbs wanted to see. He wanted to see his running game take charge here against the Rams, and they finally done it here in the fourth quarter.
Second down and 5. Biner going outside, gets by 1 tackler, penalty marker down, and Biner is stopped inside the 10. But there is a flag down, and once again Larry Kelm makes the tackle, but they're going to bring this one back as holding is called against the Redskins.
Kevin Green looked like he was tackled on that play.
New Orleans has moved in front of San Francisco now, 24-17.
Holding. Offense, number 89, 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
Terry
Second
Orr.
down.
Steve Walsh to Floyd Turner with a 3-yard toss. And the Saints lead the 49ers, and if they go on and win, they're still in the third quarter. That would lend a crippling blow to the 49er slim playoff hope.
The Ram defense is catching. Watch the Skins come off the football here. And the Ram defense is tired. They're catching those blockers as they get underway. You saw Kevin Green, left side of your screen, being held there.
Second down and 15 from the 30-yard line. Green with a big pass rush, and he gets it off to Ricky Irvin. He scored earlier. This time he's ridden out of bounds at the 20-yard line by Todd Light. A gain of 11 yards, but that will put the Redskins in a 3rd and short coming up. This is what Washington, and this is what all the good teams do when they have a lead going into the fourth quarter.
They want to take charge and put you away. You do that especially so, and you can rush the football 7 times and only throw it twice. And of course, those passes become more effective too, because they're going against the grain. But behind Jacoby, Schlereth, and Bostic, and McKenzie, and Lachey, they're just saying, hey, you lead us out of here.
They have held the ball this entire quarter. 3rd down and 3. And Rippon going up on top for Art Monk, just beyond him with Gray covering, but Monk had beaten him. And that will bring up 4th down. Redskins started this drive at the beginning of this 4th quarter. Here is the end of that play, but Monk had beaten Jerry Gray just as Ricky Sanders had in the 3rd quarter for a touchdown.
The same play that they beat him on earlier, and that one he was free too, and Rippon is saying, I just barely missed it.
Chip Lohmiller, who has missed 3 field goals in one game for the first time this year, will try one from 35 yards. And this kick is good. Finally, Lohmiller makes good. He's had problems with snaps and the wind, but Lohmiller's field goal gives the Redskins a 24-6 lead. The Redskins, they are rushing for 76 yards. Rippon with a good day. The posse has come alive. Sanders caught the touchdown pass. Lohmiller finally hit a field goal after missing 3, and the Redskins are 8 minutes and 41 seconds away from wrapping up the NFC East title. Chip Lohmiller will kick off. David Lang and Vernon Turner back deep for the Rams. Line drive kick heading over toward Turner. And Turner made another mistake, kind of, as he had tipped it, let it out of bounds, so it's going to be spotted there. You remember Monday night, Turner tried to get a ball muffed in the end zone, back in the end zone, thinking it would be a touchback. It was a safety, and once again, Turner just had a mental mistake there.
Really a shame. Had he let the ball roll, it would have gone out of bounds. But I think he's trying to make a big play and has made several big plays, several good returns early in the ball game. But this pins his offense right back against their goal line.
Look at that score. The Cincinnati Bengals have come back on a Harold Green touchdown early in the 4th quarter to tie the Giants. Saints are leading the 49ers in the 4th quarter. Denver rolling over New England.
You remember, Cincinnati gave the Redskins a big game, put 27 points on the board against them early in the year, even though they lost.
Redskins had trouble stopping them. 1st down on the 5, and the give is to Del Pino, and Wilbur Marshall makes the tackle after a gain of 2 yards. And right now, let's check in with Greg Gumbel. Greg?
Dick, at Cincinnati, here's how the Bengals pulled even. Harold Green on 4th and inches dives into the end zone, and the Giants, having to keep pace with Atlanta today, find themselves in a dogfight at Riverfront Stadium.
Pass intended for Carter. They'll rule it incomplete. And that'll bring up 3rd down. The Rams in the 2nd half have started from their own 13-yard line by average. So it's kind of a reversal from the 1st half, and the sand is coming out of that hourglass for John Robinson and the Rams in their hopes of pulling a stunner today against the Redskins.
Well, they certainly had some opportunities early, played much better than anyone could have expected, but have not been able to sustain it here in the 2nd half.
3rd down and 8 from the 7-yard line. In his end zone, Everett. And it's nearly intercepted, and Mayhew had his hands on it. Eller, the intended receiver.
Wilbur Marshall, I think, barging into Mayhew, and that's twice today that the Redskins have taken interceptions away from themselves.
It'll be 4th down, and Hatcher will kick from deep in his end zone. So the Redskins, who have lived on great field position in the 2nd half, will continue to feast. Hatcher has averaged under 35 yards a kick. And this is not a gem either, as Mitchell has it on the 40. And gets inside the 30-yard line, where Terry Crews makes the tackle. Well, the Redskins will have good field position, and much of the 55,000 fans have made their way to the exits. But
Brian Mitchell, Dick, has made some risky catches on those punts today, but he has been very secure with them. I can't help but think that Wayne Sevier is over there on the sideline saying, hey, maybe you don't want to get that one. But he comes up, doesn't fair catch it, takes it, and has done some great work with it. And all of those yards, they're just as valuable as rushing yards or passing yards. They get you closer to the opponent's goal line. That's a big day when you can go over 100 yards with your returns.
First down on the 28 of the Rams. Viner remains in the game as a running back and gets a few extra yards. Viner with a good carry on first down, picks up 6. Fred Strickland making the tackle. Of course, the question that has to be asked as we move to less than 7.5 remaining is what this means for the Rams. A good effort, but a losing effort. And, of course, a lot of eyes on John Robinson and whether he will survive what has been a dismal campaign for the Rams.
I talked to John Shaw, who's one of the key people who will make that decision on Robinson's future. And his statement flat out, we have not made that decision yet.
Viner gets to the 20-yard line. It'll be third down and short. And talking with us yesterday, Robinson said, look, I could win the last 4 games of the season and still be out.
Well, I think that's true. I think the thing that they're going to look at, that the Ram management will look at, is how well this team plays, not just today, but through the rest of the season. If they're sure that this team is coming back, that they're improving, then I think there's a chance for Robinson. If they continue to play the way they have, and they were embarrassed last week, and they have struggled, they have really struggled, then I think John Robinson is going to be looking for work.
Third down and 1. Again, 2 tight ends. 3 if you count Terry Orr, and he didn't make it. Viner stopped short of first down yardage, and that will bring up fourth down with nearly 6 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter.
Looks like Gibbs may decide to go for this one. And again, I think he's challenging. He is challenging his offense. He's challenging his offensive lineman. You saw Don Rose said, only about that far, Coach. Let's go get it.
Well, Lohmiller started on the field, and Chip now goes back. So the Redskins will go for it on fourth down and less than a yard.
Gerald Riggs, the short yardage specialist, is in on this play. Well, they've been running right today, over behind Jacoby and Florette.
Russ Grimm is a tight end, and finally Rippon said, let's work this out during a timeout as the Redskins call one.
Crisp, cold taste. Nothing beats a bud.
Well, following the timeout and the discussion on the sidelines, the Redskins have decided to go for the field goal instead of going for it on 4th and 1, which they had intended to do. So Jeff Rutledge will hold for Chip Lohmiller. A 35-yard attempt. Lohmiller 1 for 4 this afternoon.
See what John Brandes does on the snap. He's had trouble.
And this kick is long enough and good for Lohmiller. A 35-yard field goal, and it's 27-6 now in favor of the Redskins with 5:25 remaining. Without the express written consent of CBS, the Los Angeles Rams, Washington Redskins, and the National Football League is prohibited. Lohmiller's kick. We covered everyone on that one. Heading over to Vernon Turner. He is decked, and Kurt Gouveia with a fine special teams play. Well, tonight on CBS, a woman sits in front of everyone and smokes marijuana. Isn't she afraid someone will report her? To whom? The government already knows it. They're the ones who supplied her with marijuana. 60 Minutes tonight. Then it's Murder, She Wrote, and the Hallmark Hall of Fame One Against the Wind, based on the true story of a courageous woman's crusade to smuggle Allied soldiers out of occupied France. That's all tonight on CBS. First down on the 17. Look at the time of possession of this quarter as Buford McGee gets the pass, stopped by Monty Coleman, but the Redskins are giving the Rams that play and will the rest of the game.
They'll simply trade yardage for ticks on that clock. Of course, this point in the game, this point in the season, you tend to evaluate your players, how they respond under pressure.
Talk about pressure. Everett delivers one to Henry Ellard, and it's complete. And a gain of 17 yards. And the hurry up now shown by the Rams. There's the story in San Francisco, and the rest of the game's underway now. 4:52 remaining in the game. 27-6 the Redskins, headed for a division title. Ellard has caught 4 passes today for 53 yards. Under pressure, and Everett is sacked. And that'll be Monty Coleman. And that will be the 3rd sack of the game by the Redskins. And they have kept Mark Rippon clean today, as they've had now for 7 games. Second and 17. There's Buford McGee. And a good run after the catch, getting up close to midfield before Wilbur Marshall makes the tackle. And they're shy by about 2 yards.
Of course, coming off a 7-sack performance against Dallas last week, they did, in spite of the fact that they didn't win. Rams quickly back to the line. They're giving Washington a taste of their own medicine with that screenplay.
3rd down and 3. And the pass is broken up nicely by Green. Ellard was the intended receiver. And on 4th down, the Rams will have to go for the yardage.
Even Richie Pettibone, Dick, was not going to back away at all. They asked him earlier, do you change the way you use Darrell Green? He said, no. I sure hope they keep coming after Darrell. Well, they've done it a number of times today. And how many times have we seen Darrell right there with the right response, hands on the ball, in that situation, almost an interception?
You're not going to fool him and get to him too many times. He hasn't been all pro and the fastest man in the league for nothing.
Richie's the fastest man now. I don't know if he can run that fast. I played with him. He couldn't run that fast when he was playing safety.
You think Green could beat him in a race?
Hey, he thinks that fast. That's where his edge is.
4th and 3, and the pass is tipped. And a fine play made by A.J. Johnson on the pass intended for Aaron Cox. And the Redskins will take over on downs. And with 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the game, Redskins defense has played an outstanding ball game, and the Rams, by the way, haven't been held to less than 7 points in the regular season since 1987, and they've got 6 on the board right now, and they may not get to 7 today.
Well, of course, the Redskins are no stranger to low points on the board. What do they have? 3 shutouts in the first 5 games of the year. Not afraid at all to pinch you down. And I'll tell you, the one thing that continues to impress me is how quickly the Redskins can adjust offensively and defensively and on special teams, and that is truly a tribute to great coaching and veteran players.
They adjusted the clock. Ricky Urbans is the running back. 1st down on the 49 of the Rams. Nothing fancy here as Urbans is stopped for no gain. The Redskins, by the way, have scored on 4 of their 5 possessions here in the second half. After it was 7-6 Washington, and a big surprise at halftime. The Rams stayed with them. But in the second half, the Redskins pounded away as they are now less than 4 minutes away from a division championship. It would be their 5th since 1970.
Mark Addix has gone in at left guard in place of McKenzie.
2nd down and 10. There is Urbans. Tries to cut up the middle and nothing doing again. Robert Young making the tackle. So the Redskins will pick up another division title, their 5th since 1970 and their 1st since 87. And now that they have made the playoffs and now that they have won the division title, they're 3 minutes away from that. The next thing would be to secure home field advantage throughout the playoffs, which would bode well for any club, as the recent years have shown. 15 of 20 teams since 1981 that had the home field advantage have gotten to the big game.
You don't think that's important? Wow.
Ed Simmons is in for Jim Lachey as the changes are made in the offensive line, as you point out. Rippon's pass is batted down by Henley. It was intended for Clark. A surprise in Cincinnati. The Bengals have forged in front of the Giants with 7 minutes and 10 seconds to go in that fourth quarter. 20-17 on a Jim Breach field goal. Well, a Giant loss in a game that they figured to win, considering they've got Philadelphia, Washington, and Houston coming up, could really sound the death knell for the Giants, the Super Bowl champs.
Giants reacting, I'm sure, much as the Redskins did early in this game. It's hard to get excited for a team that looks bad when you watch them on tape, as the Rams did when the Redskins were looking at them.
Kelly Goodburn, the kick. Vernon Turner back deep. A fine punt by Goodburn. And here's Turner. Nowhere to go. As the Redskins came down in force. And John Brandis, the long snapper, made the tackle. All right. See what's going on in the Bay Area. Greg Gumbel has the latest from our New York studios. Greg?
All right, Dick, at Candlestick, 2 plays earlier, instant replay reversed a 49er touchdown, and then on 4th and goal, that New Orleans defense, led by Vaughn Johnson and Sam Mills, stops Tom Rathman at the goal line. The Saints hold on to their 24-17 lead. 7 minutes to play at Candlestick, Dick.
All right, so they're going down to the wire at Candlestick Park. Meanwhile, Mike Pagel has given Jim Everett the rest of the day off. He's the new quarterback with a first down on the 15-yard line. And Marcus Dupree with a good acceleration out of the field. And a penalty marker down. We may have a late hit after 12 yards picked up by Dupree, and Darrell Green might have been guilty of this one.
Well, it looked like it might have been a face mask on the runner. He's allowed to use his hand, but he can't get up and grab the mask. I don't know how they would rule that, but let's... Ooh, and Darrell Green comes up limping. And they're waving to the sideline as he reaches for his toe or his ankle. I don't know whether he twisted it or got stepped on that last play.
Defense, number 28, 5 yards.
You're right, Dick.
Back on the end of the run. First down.
Let's see if we can see what happens to Darrell Green at the end of this play. You see, he's getting pushed, but that's not at the face mask, and reaches in to grab the mask with 2 hands. Now let's see if we can see what happens at the end of the play. Looked like someone stepped on the back of his foot. One of his own players stepped on the back of his foot.
And he's going to come out. Sidney Johnson will replace Green. You want to talk about people Richie Pettibone could least afford to lose. 28 would be right amongst maybe the top 2. First down, and a good acceleration again by Dupree. And the Rams may be saying, where has he been? A 15-yard gain on that burst with Brad Edwards making the tackle.
Marcus Dupree has been waiting for an opportunity. Got a chance to start last week. Did not really do much in that ball game. Of course, none of the Rams did.
We're down to 2 minutes remaining in the game here at Anaheim Stadium, with Washington rolling to a title. Darrell Green said, I'm not through yet, and he has come back in the game despite that bad foot, and will be in the secondary as the Rams, with 2 minutes remaining in the game, have a first down on their 47-yard line.
Dick, I think one of the questions that has been answered today, a question that bothered the Redskins staff, they worried at how the Skins would react to that loss against the Cowboys. Would they be able to get it back into gear? Joe Gibbs has done a good job of getting this team back on track here today.
On first down, Dupree getting the call, brings it out to an 8-yard gain. Looking at the NFC East, the Redskins, of course, will wrap it up as you look at their remainder of the schedule. In white are the home games. Cowboys are home against New Orleans and Atlanta, on the road against Philadelphia. The Giants, they lose this game, they're going to be in tough shape. They've got a tough schedule, although they have 2 games at home. And the Eagles have a tough one tomorrow on the road in the Dome against the Oilers, as Ernie Thompson carries and gets a yard. Close to the first down. I don't know whether he made it, though. Rams are headed for their 7th straight loss. Remember, they haven't lost this many since the days of Harlan Safari back in the mid-60s, when they lost 8 in a row. This will be number 7.
I have painful memories of those Harlan Safari losses.
There's the remaining schedule for the Rams. 3rd down and 1 coming up for the Rams with under a minute to go. And Dupree gets the first down. Well, Redskins, for the first time since 1986, will have won 12 games in the regular season, according to Washington's favorite son, Marty Aronoff. And a big day for them as they'll wrap up the NFC East Division title.
Big smile from Mark Griffin, and finally a bit of a smile from Joe Gibbs. Told us last year, our goal for the season in 1990 is to get back to the playoffs. They did that and almost made another big step forward. This year, a more lofty goal. They want to put themselves not only in the playoffs, but in the Super Bowl as well.
First down, and Dupree gets tackled from behind by Andre Collins, and that'll do it. Joe Gibbs, who has his roots in Southern California, and John Robinson, who hopes to hang on, but he may not be able to. And the game is over, and the Redskins have clinched the NFC East title, their first division crown since 1987. And they join the Buffalo Bills as the two teams to wrap up division titles with a 27-6 win against the surprisingly pesky Rams, Merlin.
Certainly much more than they expected of the Rams early in this ball game, but the match was just too much. The Rams couldn't hold it.
Final 27-6, the Redskins rebound from their loss.